Hello, and welcome to today's MasterClass. I really appreciate you coming. I'm sorry that the things that have happened in your life that have led you here, but what we're going to cover today is 5 simple steps to overcoming burnout and getting back to crushing your career. First off, who's this for? Are you a business professional who's been successful and are standing on top of a mountain of accomplishment only to look around and ask yourself, is this it? Is this all? I worked this hard to get here for this? Do you feel like a walking zombie at work? From the mind-numbing boredom to the never-ending stress. If you had told me when I was 18 that I would be bored and stressed at the same time, I wouldn't have been able to fathom it. But there I was in my early 30s, bored and stressed. Or maybe you feel stuck, roadblocked, trapped. You know you're at a crossroads, or you should be, because you can't keep going down this same road. If you'd like your career and your life to have meaning, or if you'd like to get your magic, then this is for you. I'm going to show you how to break out of this cycle to build a career of daily inspiration, financial freedom, and ease. You might be able to do this at the job you have now, or we start with a fresh sheet of paper at a new job, or even better, start your own company. Everybody's situation is different, but we will find the right path for you. If this is what you want, pay attention, because we're about to put your life in a whole new place. In the next 45 minutes, you'll learn how to discover your calling in life and translate that calling into a career and life that is ideal. Imagine truly loving what you do, doing what you love, and even better, knowing exactly why you are doing it. Even if you've felt stuck for years, I will show you how to level up in life, financially, physically, emotionally, and mentally, without taking massive risk or throwing your life into complete chaos. There's not going to be any network marketing or some other business nonsense. This is all just a straightforward plan. You'll be at ease in life while being successful. You're successful now, but the struggle is becoming too great to deal with and to maintain. What we need is to be able to put this on autopilot so that you can maintain your success with ease. I'll show you how to escape the pattern of job hopping, or even worse, staying at a job you're trapped at and can't seem to escape. I'll show you how your job becomes an essential part of your life as a whole, not a part where you check out of your life and just go there to earn money, and then when work is over, you get back to your life. It should all be one thing. I'll show you how to remove toxic people from your life, and if they can't be removed, how to negate the effects of their toxicity. And no, this isn't allowing them to swim with the fishes, although I know from the toxic people that I've had to deal with, a lot of times it can be a pretty attractive option. I'll show you how to get into the flow state to accomplish more with almost no stress. All of this can be done without taking huge risks, throwing your life into chaos, or starting over and risk losing everything you love about your life, and you can do it now. My promise to you is a step-by-step strategy to leaving burnout, stress, and indecision behind, and the exact steps you need to get back to being a rock star high achiever in your career and your life without the stress. If that's what you want to do, then stick around. But before we get into all the good stuff, let me check in with you. I want to see where you're at and if this sounds like you. Have you accomplished everything you wanted and still feel empty? Like your life and job has no purpose? You're just a cog in a machine, another brick in the wall? Or do you wake up dreading going to work because it feels like nothing will change and what's the point? And you lack energy because of that, and no sleep is ever enough. Or do you secretly wonder how someone with your talents and skills has so little to show for it? Your potential is being squandered. Are you working way too hard and for too many hours and struggling to get it all done, and your personal life is suffering, or even worse, non-existent? Are you tired of Herculean effort to overcome every obstacle to succeed, but the results aren't there, and no one else is helping, and they don't even seem to notice how hard you're trying? Come on, guys. Throw me a frickin' bone over here. There just seems to be a general lack of opportunity. Do you feel like there is an invisible ceiling that is keeping you from accomplishing more and having the life you want? Do you feel burnt out lately? Does it feel like no matter what you're doing, you aren't moving forward? Or every day feels gray and feel like you're stuck in the same place, basically a Groundhog Day, not moving forward in your career or your life? And are you missing out on life? Life itself, the big picture. If any of this sounds like you, then I have good news. None of these are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't used the 5 keys yet. I'm going to tell you what those are in just a second. Once you use the keys, you'll know why you're getting out of bed, what difference you make in the world, and how only you can make that difference. You'll have the energy to get going each and every day. You'll feel liberated to live the life that you know you deserve. You'll be happy to live the life of a king or queen with authority and ease. And you'll have stability and be happy with your long-term plan and the progress that you're making daily and the landmarks that you're going to see along the way. Your personal, professional, and emotional life will be integrated. It will all work together and be one thing. Everyone in your life will be cooperative and eager to help you, and those that aren't won't matter. And the toxic people in your life that have been there will see themselves out because they no longer fit. Your talents and abilities will be used to their fullest potential, and you'll accomplish more than you ever previously thought possible. You'll be able to handle every situation intuitively with little thought to create the best result for everyone involved. And you'll have gratitude for everything you have in your life. The one thing you need to know is these are the keys to unlocking a life and a career that brings you both enduring fulfillment and financial freedom. I'm going to walk you through those exact keys today. Before we go too much further, let me take a moment to introduce myself so you know who I am and why you should listen to me. I'm an executive level sales and marketing manager with over 20 years experience at the highest levels of persuasion and mindset. I have personally experienced burnout as a manager at a Fortune 500 telecommunications company. I was doing well, but couldn't take the stress and monotony anymore. I quit the Fortune 500 and started my own health and fitness company. I grew it to 3 locations with 35 employees and again burned out. I sold all 3 locations successfully and then started another marketing company with 2 partners where I again burned out. But this time there was no graceful exit or happy ending riding off into the sunset. I crashed and burned, financially, professionally, and personally. It took me years to return to success, and looking back on my journey, I saw how it could be done much quicker and easier. I have a unique talent to holding a mirror up to people in their life so they can see reality as it really is and make adjustments to create their ideal life. I have been studying high performance and persuasion since the early 90s. I thought those two combined had to equal success. But merely getting more done at a faster rate or closing bigger deals while financially rewarding kept leading me down the path to burnout. A change of scenery or position didn't change the outcome. I wasn't trying to figure out how to achieve, I was trying to figure out how to be fulfilled. Except, at the time, I didn't even know that was the question I was asking. I wanted fulfillment and to not have it be a struggle every moment of the day. The strain of trying to hold it all together. Maybe you know how that feels. So more effort wasn't the answer, and neither was changing the situation. I looked at my friends who were millionaires and billionaires, and they seemed to be living with ease. And I noticed how extraordinary, deliberate, and almost slow they were in their thoughts, decisions, and actions. It was very different from the hustle of the middle class. I thought, you fellas better pick it up if you want to get anywhere in life. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm the one who's doing this wrong. They were kind enough to point me in the general, vague direction of why they were different. They certainly didn't point me to a step-by-step plan with key distinctions, but there were just enough breadcrumbs for me to figure it out. Sometimes it felt like I barely found the answer or that I barely found it in time, but last-minute panic is a heck of a motivator. I'm going to make it clear and easy to follow, and everyone who has all 5 of these keys in their life is successful with ease. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them now. Key 1, own your life, all of it. Who is responsible for the way you are right now? Is it your genetics? You were just born that way and you can't help it? Was it your mom and your dad? They didn't love you, or they loved you too much, or they didn't discipline you, or they did discipline you? Is it your wife or your husband and they just don't understand you? Is it a teacher, a boss, a mother-in-law, God, government? Who is responsible for the way you are right now? If someone else is responsible for the way you are, you can't be responsible. Whew, you're not responsible. But that also means you can't change. The quality of your life is dictated to the degree that you own your life and can make changes independent of anyone else. If your life is compromised by compulsive or a reactive approach, you are controlled by the situation. It means life is controlling you. You are not in control of life. Very often the most controlling people I see aren't really in control of their life. They're just trying to control everything around them so that they don't get set off. But being fully responsible is to be fully conscious. If you decide, I am responsible, you will have the ability to respond. With the ability to respond, you have the freedom to create yourself the way you want to be, not as a reaction to situations or to others. Because being reactive is being held captive, and responsibility is freedom. The world may not be 100% in your control, but you should always be able to decide your response. We manage things that are precious to us. We manage our money, our business, our family, our household. Why would we manage stress? Stress isn't inevitable. Stress is entirely self-created and self-inflicted. Why would people choose to be stressed? Because they believe stress, many times, is a source of status. I'm so important because I'm stressed. Stress isn't a sign of rank. It's a signal that something is out of alignment. It's easy for us to recognize stress in physical things. A car with a bad front end, a stuck drawer, a grocery cart that doesn't roll straight. We realize immediately something isn't lined up. But when it comes to our life, the intangibles, our relationships stuck in cycles of misery, organizations in chaos, our own repetitive thought patterns, it's difficult to recognize that something isn't aligned. But once you take ownership of your life, there is no such thing as stress. Ownership and action aren't the same. The ability to respond gives you the freedom to act. It also gives you the freedom not to act. Ownership isn't compulsive action. It offers you the choice of doing something or not. Your ability to do something will always be limited, but there is no limitation on your ability to respond. Owning your life is about being. Responsibility is about being the person who you really are. What kind of person are you at your core? Being who you really are, your authentic self, without filters or other people's judgments, allows you to see the rest of life as it really is. This will give you insight and recognition into everything going on around you. Once you perceive life as it actually is, life becomes a game where everyone can win, or a dance that you just flow with. Your ability to respond is literally unlimited. You can choose your response to everything. Your entire life can be a fantastic experience because of this. Anything in your life that you're struggling with, someone else is doing with ease. You can do it easily as well. There is no struggle. We're all like a songbird in a cage, except we built our own cage as protection and ended up trapping ourselves in it. We can fly free anytime we choose. We just don't out of habit or fear. There is no cage because we only created it in our mind. Everything in life is available to you. Nothing is holding you back except your own mind. Knock and it shall be open. You don't even have to knock because there is no door. It's already open. You just have to walk through. I am not responsible means you have refused to get along with anyone until you can't even get along with yourself. Sometimes you don't even believe you are responsible for what is happening inside of you. The ability to respond is the basis of life. If you accept this willingly, you become blissful. If you refuse, you become miserable. The most reliable way to create misery is to pass the buck. Stop the pattern of blaming everyone else. This is the greatest adventure life has to offer, the voyage to self-ownership. The second key is knowing your true value. Your opinion of your value is an emotional response. What is your value? When I ask this question, people often don't know how to answer. Your true value is your responsibility. You project to the world your value by how you see yourself. We often judge ourselves by metrics that are superficial and beyond our control. Our looks, how tall we are, our hair, the color of our eyes. But what if you judge yourself by how big a difference you have made in the world? The gift you offer to the universe by being yourself, and the difference that makes in everyone's life you touch. That would be a beautiful way to judge value. Now you can decide your value. Your ability to act may be limited right now, but your ability to respond is not. We just covered that in key 1, remember? It was like 90 seconds ago. Fully embracing your ability to respond will increase your ability to take action. And with your increased ability, you can now do something special or even impossible. You are powerful. How big a difference can you make in one life? In 2? How big of a difference can you make in hundreds of people's lives? Another factor in your value is not where you are right now, but where you're heading. Your potential is determined by your mindset. If your mindset is true, you will do amazing things and exceed your wildest expectations. Mindset starts with our thoughts. Our thoughts about what is true forms our beliefs. And once we know your beliefs, we can predict your actions. And once we get our beliefs right, it cascades through the rest of our life. Because of this, we need to make sure our beliefs line up with our goals. And our beliefs form our priorities and what is important in our life, creating our values. And our values are a silent force behind almost all of our actions and decisions. And when we repeat an action, it becomes a habit. Get the beliefs right, and your habits automatically change and start an upward spiral in your life. The spiral lifting you upwards creates abundance, more than what you need. And having a reserve goes beyond money, although having a reserve of money is nice. You can have a wealth of time, an abundance of joy, a profusion of friends. Relationships that are rock solid can endure difficult periods easily. These are also reserves in your life. A sense of wealth comes from always having more than enough, a reserve, or extra. We aren't afraid of running out or just focusing on survival, so we can focus our attention on other things. When you have enough, when you have a reserve in your life, and when you aren't worried about your basic needs, it's easy to live your highest principles or your integrity. And integrity is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. Your integrity gives you the ability to be clear about what is acceptable behavior, how you like to be treated and spoken to, and to have the courage to speak out when necessary. It becomes easier to speak up when you don't need external validation to prove your value. Instead, you have an internal compass pointing to what is right and wrong. Boundaries are the limits we set around our time, whom we let into our life, and activities that take our attention. Boundaries are the invisible lines that tell people how close they can come and what to expect when they are close to us. Boundaries put us in charge by allowing us to choose who and what we allow inside our life. By having your thoughts, beliefs, values, actions, and habits all lined up, that's what integrity is, having all of those aligned, you present to the world in a way that the world will recognize your value without having to say a word. The third key, or what we like to call the secret weapon, is hitting the Control-Alt-Delete of your life, or rebooting your life. Why the need for a reboot? We're going to treat your mind like it's a computer for this key. Basically, you have been running non-stop since you were born. Thousands of programs have been installed to help you navigate life. As we grew up, we installed Walking.exe, Not Pooping on Yourself program, Put the Spoon in Your Mouth with Food program, and the ever-handy virus, Sleep When It's Time to Wake Up. Some of the programs are essential, like Shower.exe. Some are less essential, like Veg Out on Sofa and Watch the Voice screensaver. Then there are others that don't help at all, like Yell at Cars in Front of You for Existing.exe. What's that one about? Still, others are harmful and weren't even installed by you. You might not even know that they are there and running, like I'm Not Good Enough because my mom called me a loser when I was 6.exe. Or the ever-popular program, Who Am I to Do Something Great? We normally resort to a Control-Alt-Delete on a computer because the whole system is frozen up and won't respond, or it's running really slow. In our life, this happens because I Need a New BMW.exe conflicts with Dad Said People with Money Were Evil and Selfish program. We have trouble getting what we say we want because silent hidden programs are in conflict, and we need a reboot so we can have a clean start in our mind. What a reboot gives us a chance to do is see a list of programs that are running by name, what each program is doing, compare the function of those programs to our life purpose, stop selected programs, restart the whole system fresh, and run the best programs for our life. How many areas of your life are you saying, I want to do X, and your mind says, nice try, we're doing Y. I want to lose weight, nice try, we're going to eat 22 tacos because we don't know if there will ever be food again.exe is running in the background. I want a relationship, that's cute. We're going to argue about everything because the world will hurt me if I'm wrong.exe is running. This reboot gives us awareness, not judgment of what is good or bad, but just awareness to see life as it really is. Don't think about pink elephants. You can't help it. You are thinking about pink elephants. Don't smile. And now you're smiling. You're welcome. I hope that brightens up your day. If you tell yourself not to think something, that is precisely the first thing you will think. Who's in control of your mind? You should be able to think whatever you want, whenever you want. This should be your most fundamental freedom. My mind, my thoughts. What is stopping you from thinking positive, joyful thoughts all day? Well, your mind isn't taking instructions from you. The alternative button means you have alternatives, multiple options to choose from. You are not an automaton or a robot that does everything pre-programmed with no variability. You can choose your beliefs. You can choose your actions. You can choose each and every response. In this step, we consciously create what our choices in life will be. Maybe you don't have a conflicting program running. You just have a crappy program installed by someone else in your life that isn't serving you. Now we write a new program, and the good news is once you write it, in the future, it's much easier to upgrade and level up in life. The truth is we don't want control. Control is just a temporary state so we can do inventory, hopefully quickly to find out what is happening inside of us. Once the inventory is over, you don't want to control depression. You don't want to control hunger. You don't want to control other people's opinions about you. You want to be liberated. You want to be liberated from depression. You want to be liberated from hunger. You want to be liberated of stress. We delete those beliefs and programs that aren't serving us so we can be liberated and have relief from them. Mindset is your beliefs about yourself and your most basic qualities and abilities. And you have the ability to rewrite this operating system or mindset so it serves you. Think about yellow cars, you see yellow cars. Think about wearing red shirts, you see red shirts. Think about beautiful people, you see beautiful people. There aren't any more or less of those things in the world, but your mind filters for them. This is what your mindset does for you. What happens in your life when you've performed a reboot? No more internal conflicts. No more saying one thing to yourself and doing another. You decide what is best for you. The past, present, and future you. And everyone that will be in contact with you. And you decide what is best, and then you carry it out with ease. Unnecessary background programs that you didn't install stop running. Everything that is unnecessary is removed and left behind. The only thing left is you, the authentic you, the you that is so deep no one else can truly understand. Nothing is left but you. And with this streamlined and focused version of your operating system or mindset, you turn your mind into a machine that creates the future. Predictably, your thoughts, emotions, body, and energy are all channeled in one direction. Your ability to create what you want is incredible, maybe even unbelievable. This is the end of Key 3. Let's have a quick recap. Key 1 was own your life. Take responsibility for everything so that you can change. Key 2, know your true value so that the world will recognize it as well as you do. And Key 3, reboot your brain so everything is lined up in your life. We've gotten to the 4th key. The obstacle is the way. Use the obstacles in your life as a stepping stone. If you look closely at your life, your problems seem really different from one another. But if you zoom out far enough, you will see there are themes that keep reoccurring. You ask, why does this keep happening to me? Why do my kids always do this? Why does my dog always do that? Why does my boss always treat me this way? Why am I always broke? Why is my patience always on its last nerve? If the same misfortune keeps happening, I have bad news. It's not the world, it's you. Well, that's kind of rude. Surely it can't be your fault. Oh, but it is. I'll read you an autobiography in 5 chapters by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. This isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it's there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. The obstacle is always the same. Does it feel like she wrote this about your life? The first time I read it, I thought she had been secretly following me around for 3 decades. As an autobiography, it's like a doctor with no bedside manner telling you the truth. The truth and accuracy makes all of us cringe a little. Everything that happens in your life does so for your benefit. Not just the things you want to happen, but the difficulties and obstacles as well. And those obstacles will repeat until you absorb their wisdom and understand everything that is essential for you to grow further and level up. The exact thing that is holding you back will turn into a stepping stone to level up. This isn't about your past and the holes that you have fallen into repeatedly. This is about your future and the holes you will avoid with ease. Your past isn't the definition of your greatness and your full abilities. Years of therapy is not the answer, although it might help. Fixing our past doesn't change the future. What do you really want? The first step in creating the future you really want is being crystal clear on what you desire, in perfect detail. Too often in life, the hardships we face define what we want, and we define what we want by saying, well, not this. Not this is not a clear life expectation. Not here doesn't lead you anywhere specific. What prevents us from pursuing or even being clear about what we really want with full effort is the fear of suffering. Only your body needs to be protected. Nothing else within you needs protection. If you are willing to drop the philosophies and belief systems you're currently attached to, you can recreate your entire life in the very next moment. Most people live their life cautiously, holding back from going all out for what they really want. They have tried before and come up short. They don't want to deal with running into a roadblock or disappointment again. They only give just enough effort, just enough love, just enough joy, not too much. They don't want it to run out or have their effort fall short. Or they worry. When the suspense of having your needs met is completely eliminated, you can explore your true greatness. Otherwise, you only want to protect yourself. Once fear and suffering are replaced with power and peace, you can throw yourself into any situation without hesitation. And once a clear path to what you want is clearly identified, fear, caution, and anxiety are discarded. Commitment is easy. And when commitment is easy, you aren't relying on willpower. Results just happen. Your thoughts will be organized so that there's no struggle. Your thoughts flow freely toward what you want, and once this happens, the manifestation of your desire is a natural consequence. How do you want to experience life? In small measured doses that are barely enough? Or do you want to live life full throttle, all out, knowing what you are going for and then going for it? The most generous way to live is to set an example to the rest of the world by living full throttle and beyond all limitations. Explore and experience life as fully as possible. You won't have to overcome challenges. When you are ready, they will mark the way, and there is no struggle. Shift 5, our last shift, have a guide. Google how to deal with burnout. The articles would be laughably bad if this weren't so serious. Work out, stop drinking coffee or alcohol, take a vacation, get plenty of sleep, or the biggie, quit your job. Are you kidding me? Those are like taking on a bear with a fly swatter. It could take you years of effort to realize most of the conventional wisdom is wrong and you're still miserable and struggling the entire time. Here is what a good guide will do for you. Have a specific plan to overcome burnout. A good plan should be a combination of practical, tactical, and strategic. And by blending long-term goals with short-term strategies, the plan becomes a permanent solution. A guide will have regularly scheduled accountability meetings and check up on you in between those meetings to give you a nudge when you need one. He'll give you a safe place to brainstorm, create new ideas, and try out all of your ideas in a safe place, allowing you to present and work with half-formed ideas without judgment. Dips and slumps are part of getting out of a dark place and to the light. A guide will remind you of where you started, how far you have come, and how close you are to success. Confidence is what you have after you have done something. It takes courage to do the unknown. Having someone to guide you can reinforce your courage until you've had enough success to now have confidence. Having another person to report your progress to creates excitement and commitment. The focus a good guide and a good program creates leads right into a flow state, putting you in the zone, giving you more time in the zone to be more effective. A guide has not only been there and done that himself, but has helped hundreds of others with the same issue successfully. A good guide will be able to accurately assess your strengths and areas to improve. You'll grow and develop as a person, learning new skills to capitalize on your strengths, uncovering unknown talents, and learning to deal with and offset your weaknesses. 1,440. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and you. You all have the exact same budget when it comes to the number of minutes in a day. 1,440 minutes. Surprisingly, once the other 4 shifts are in place, you have more time available. An abundance of time. Not because you have manufactured more minutes, but because you know how to spend the time you have. We've covered a lot today, and by now you should have a vision of how great your life can be, an ideal life. Having an ideal life is going to require major changes, mostly between your ears, and it's important we make the right changes in the right order. Everyone should have a guide to lead them through this process. The risk is realizing too late that you've wasted a life, but there are a lot of moving parts that can go wrong, and you can end up spending 5 to 10 years or even forever struggling with a life that isn't what you want. At the end of all that wasted time, you will realize you have lost way more than a paycheck that was less than your potential, but you've lost the affections of loved ones and experiences that will never be regained, or even worse, you give up on having dreams. That's why you need a guide. Let's look at where a guide will walk you through each step. Unearthing your life purpose is difficult. You have known your life purpose since you were 5 or 6, but mostly well-meaning people did their best to downplay it and disguise it. Most guides to life purpose miss the mark dramatically, and others are just downright harmful, and some take you down the wrong path, confusing life purpose with a 5-year mission or vision. Next up is the ideal life plan or vision. Most people have very little experience in planning or creating the ideal life. No one teaches anything about this in school. The first time I was told about having a life vision, I realized immediately how important it was, but their directions were so vague as to be almost completely useless. My plan builds your ideal life with your life purpose as a guide, and without throwing your life into chaos and wasting time on tasks and exercises that don't matter, or leaving you wondering what you're supposed to be doing. Next is getting your headspace right. This is the most difficult thing to do on your own. We literally can't see the forest for the trees when trying to figure out how and why we think the way we do. This is where I excel, in holding up a mirror to your life so you can see yourself accurately. Getting your head right is a lot like learning a foreign language or advanced mathematics. If you miss one step along the way, everything after it becomes more difficult and confusing. Having a guide will keep you clear and allow you to leap years ahead. You can be living your life purpose with ease in months, not years, or even never. There are new ideas in your head right now that would not have been there if you didn't make time for this master class. Let's get you back on the road to success and the life you deserve. Today I promised that I would help you level up in life even if you have felt stuck for years. Attract the best people into your life and stop negative people in their tracks. Be at ease while being successful. Rediscover your passion and find your drive to jump out of bed with renewed motivation and zest, even if you've almost given up. How to let life's annoyances and setbacks bounce off of you and have no effect so you stay calm, cool, and collected. And how to develop laser-like focus so you can knock off task after task without skipping a beat, even if you have felt mentally scattered. Discover how to have a sense of connection and unity with everyone you value in your life with mutual loyalty, trust, respect, and compassion where communication will be easy and open even in the past if disagreements were commonplace. Embrace your role at work to create satisfaction even if you currently feel stuck. What I showed you was what you needed to win, which were the 5 shifts. 1 was own your life, all of it. 2 was know your true value. 3 was the Control, Alt, Delete, or rebooting your mind. 4th was the obstacle is the way. 5, invest in mentoring. Now you have a choice. You can take the information I've given you and forget all about it. Keep struggling. Keep grinding, keep working your fingers to the bone, put in massive effort to see almost no results. Or have the life you know you deserve, a life you know you have the potential for. Here's what I have for you. My team and I set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your life starting today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen it and we know how to overcome it. We're going to jump on the phone for about 45 minutes, and on this session, we'll work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to create your ideal life and overcome burnout, or know what decisions to make at your crossroads. The cost is absolutely free. We'll get clear on 3 things. First, what's not working in your life. Second, why your life isn't going the way you want. And third, what your life could look like. Who this is for. You have to embrace growth. You must know you are capable of more than what you are getting and willing to do things differently. In order to be number one, you have to be odd. Why we're doing this? We do this because we remember being right where you are right now and wish someone had helped us along the way. If you're an expert at anything and you watch someone struggle in your area, it's hard to watch, or even worse, struggle and then just give up. Plus, we know you might want our help to transform your life and career. If so, we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit for both of us. If not, that's fine too. Plus, we know you might want our help to transform your life and career. If so, we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit for both of us. If not, that's fine too. Spaces are limited. I'm going to make a button appear. Click on the button, and when you click that button, you'll be taken to our calendar page. You're going to see all the available appointment times. Grab one that works for you. After that, you'll be taken to a really short application page that has 5 to 6 questions. Fill them in really quickly. Don't overthink your answers. Fill it in with the first thoughts and impulses. And we will get on the call with you at the appointed time. And it's going to be the best hour you've ever spent making your life better. Go there now. We'll speak to you very soon.